Well, if you were here before the start of the game, you would have saw a very handsome lion coming out to home plate, which was, I had no idea that was happening. This is the first time I've ever seen Jim Gasso coach. I've seen him coach when he was a young coach as like a assistant coach in football. I've never seen him coach a softball game. And I was really impressed. He has done a really great job at that program. So I think that is a great victory. I think, Mac, you walked away feeling pretty good. I thought they played hard. Pitching today was really good. I would tell you that probably unfairly, my expectations are at a different level, and we're not ready for it. And I can see that. So we are having, to me, like some empty at-bats with runners at third. We're striking out, we're grounding out, like we're just not pushing that envelope. I've got a lot of young people that are kind of living station to station instead of really seeing the big field and like getting ahead of the game. So we still have so much to do. And it's not for lack of work ethic, it's just learning the game. And I can't compare them to what I've had because it's unfair to them. And sometimes that's where my expectations go. So we're grinding, we're trying, we're working, we're getting stronger for sure, but just the mental side of the game, they've got to learn it faster to me.
Go ahead with questions.
You got Hicks back recently at catcher. What's your thoughts on her from what you've seen so far, and now that she's healthy?
She has definitely the athleticism. She's got a good arm. She can move pretty well. She has been out injured, so I think the mind is working a little bit slower. Like any catcher knows to pop out and throw the ball to first. So that was just kind of a mental lapse. I think she hasn't been behind there at all. So, I don't know that she's really relaxed. I think she's still pretty tense and in the moment. So we just need to get her more reps, and that's important. But I need her to grow. I need her to grow up. I need her to be the person that's calming the pitcher down. And she's just young. She's very young back there right now.
Patty, I know you mentioned, pitching needs to get a little further along, but when you see like Audrey start the game the way she did to go perfect through the first 3 innings, is that encouraging just at this point in the year in her development?
Yeah, like the pitchers have been the highlight of this season to me. I mean, we're not striking out 15 a game, but we're getting outs, and that's all. We're going to make this defense the best you've seen. I mean, we're really going to make them good because we have to. Because they're going to be very important for the pitcher's success. So that is something that I'm counting on. But the pitchers threw well. They did a good job. And we got out of some big innings. We had bases loaded with nobody out and held on to the shutout. We haven't allowed a run all fall, with the exception of the foul series. But I like what the pitchers are doing. I do.
Her specifically, what stood out to you about the way she's throwing right now, and
Lowry?
what's making her good?
She's very unassuming. Like you go out, you might look at her and go, "Oh, what a cute little pitcher," and she's used to that. She's very quiet. She's very kind of shy, but she's very crafty. And Kelly Maxwell has a little bit of that kind of shyness in her. But I see her looking to be someone like a Kelly Maxwell in the future. Kelly didn't start that way. Kelly Maxwell took a couple of years to develop that. But Audrey can mix her pitches up. She throws a lot of strikes. I'm really excited about her future. And I really am excited where her progress with Coach Roche is right now.
When we talked to you last June in Oklahoma City, you talked about looking forward to coaching a young team. What's the balance between being patient with their growth and development and then wanting them to be where you want them to be?
It's awful. That's the awful part about it. When you've been living in a space for so long where it's just right? But I love coaching and I love seeing the development. There are times when I get frustrated when I know you're hearing what I'm saying, you're just not, you're not coming through with it. And so what I really just got done talking to them about, there are some really good hitters in our locker room right now, from Ella, Parker, Pickering, Sid. These guys know how to hit. They've been taught. When our team in the past, they'd be in the dugout and they're talking hitting without us. And that's how you learn. And I'm not seeing that. So I'm telling our young ones, like, go find that veteran and say, what do I need to do here? Like, we need their help because we can't get it done in practice. You know, we're crammed into hours and there's only so much time. They got to learn on their own. And that's why I need to see a maturity of saying, I don't like where I am right now as a freshman. What do I need to get better mentally, physically, emotionally, all of that, to learn the game, play the game at a faster level. I've seen Sydney Barker step up on that. I really have. We've also had some injuries. So Gabby Garcia, it's killing me not to see her at shortstop. Tia Malloy had a freak accident and she's been out. Like, we're just missing a lot of pieces that are important. But for the most part, the freshmen, the newcomers, Agbayani, Abby Dayton, they've got it going on. But you're also seeing Hannah Core as a newcomer. You're seeing Nellie as a newcomer. So you're looking around going, wow, we've got maybe 4 players that have been around for a year, like with significant playing time. So it's challenging, but I'm excited about it. I really am. I think there's something there. It just doesn't always show the way it needs to show. It's not quite tough enough. You know, it settles. We're settling, and I don't like that word.
You mentioned Nellie, another really good night for Nellie, good fall for her. What's it meant to get her back? And then for like everyone, and 2,700 people here tonight, when you talk about this group going station to station, how important is it for them to be able to learn that on the fly while also kind of simulating what they're going to see all?
Yeah. Well, Nellie, first of all, is really, really working hard. She's probably one of our hardest workers, and she's really doing a great job in all areas of the game. So I'm really happy for her, and she's become a leader for us. We had 27 plus.
Whoa.
Time down. Happy Halloween, Coach.
I've had enough of it. 2,700, I'm telling them, you guys feel a little bit tight here? This is half of the stadium. This is only half. They're like, what do you mean? I'm like, look, this place is going to be standing room only soon. So you're going to have to learn. I remember last season when we were in for the first time, it took us almost a month to figure out how to play in the stadium. If you're coming in from the outside, you're like, we got nothing to lose, let's go for it. If you're here, you're playing here, you're like, they feel a different kind of nervousness. And so that's something that we really got to find. I felt them starting to bring momentum, but they just weren't getting anything out of it from the dugout. So.
When you think of Maya, you think of speed, but what might a night like tonight do for her?
She has changed a lot. I mean, she was definitely a freshman last year, and it could be frustrating for both of us at times, but I've really seen her elevate and say, okay, I get it, I want in. And the way she's swinging right now is legit. There are times when she takes chances when they don't make sense. And that's what frustrates me. So if I can pull back the reins and get her to understand where we are in the game, how many outs, who's coming up, what the situation is, like, you got to think that fast, and their brains aren't working that way. Or Maya's brain is working. I can do it. I'm doing it. I can do it. And then you get thrown out at third, and you're like, come on. That was the Maya. We're changing that Maya because Maya can really help this team win. I know it.
If you don't mind me asking one more question, just coaching against Jim, how special was it, the lead up, the build up? I know we've been talking about it, just being out there on the field with him, and what's it been like at home and everything?
It has not been fun at home. It's weird. It's just weird. We talk about it and then we don't. And then friends will call and he'll put it on speakerphone and they're like, "You can get them, Jim. Yeah, this will be the greatest win." And I'm like, "Really?" And so I'm like yelling on the other side, like, "You're dead to me," like the friends that are on the phone, like, "I'm not talking to you." So I think we were both a little bit nervous, but at the same time, what a glorious opportunity to have 3 Gassos in one game. And I really was impressed with him. I know Jim Gasso as fiery. I'm thinking he's coming after the umpires. He's going to try to bow up at me at home plate. He comes out as a lion. Okay. He was quiet. But still coaching. And I was watching him a lot without him knowing I'm watching him, or maybe we were, but I had fun. Our team, I wanted to see if our team would work a little bit harder, like, okay, this means something to you, Coach Gasso, and they could care less. So I hope we can do it again. I wouldn't play, we played the newlywed game, which didn't go very well, because we've been married for 38 years and we just don't know much about. I thought his first job he was a bouncer, and he said he worked at a convenience store. I'm like, when did you ever? You've never said that in 38 years or 40 years. So yeah, I learned a lot tonight about him and his team. So it was fun. I enjoyed it, and it was nervy, but it was really cool. It was really cool.
Y'all gonna be all right tonight?
I don't know. I'm leaving at 6 a.m. tomorrow to go recruiting, so I'm going to be up all night, whether I want to or not. All right. Thank you.